Okay, so this is part 3 of the developer diary for Ninja Birds X, which is converting a game using Unity 3D from an iPhone or Android game into a web playable game that can be loaded onto a website like, say, Facebook or Kongregate.com. Unity 3D has that ability. It's a very, very powerful engine, and it's pretty easy to use from a sort of programming standpoint, I think, and you can get a lot of games built pretty quickly using this software. And so I'm a big I'm always sort of praising Unity, and I think the support there and the program itself is great, and it's free to use. Go to unity3d.com. You can download it for free. Start playing. There's a lot of great tutorials online as well, so I totally recommend it. New people coming new to gaming might find it a little bit confusing at first, just like I did. But give it a few weeks, and once you get the basic principles of coding and game development down, you'll be building game prototypes in no time. So let me just quickly see where I was up to. I'm just clicking around like crazy now. I have too many windows open in my computer, and it's late as well. So it's actually 12 o'clock now, which is okay. I'm a night owl. But what we did in the last video is we actually fixed a bunch of errors. So if you look here now, we're pretty much error free. These are just these ones here are just warnings, which is fine. We don't need to worry about those. We have it running in the Unity editor here, as you can see. But what we want to do is make a web version so that we can deploy it onto websites, and people can play it online if they don't have an iPhone or an Android. So, and we can also monetize that as well. We can make money from that. So, what I'll do is I'll click Command and B, and you can see this running in a web browser. So, I actually didn't clean up all of the code before on the camera, but that was pretty simple. I think in the last video I kind of explained how to do that pretty well. But it's a little bit boring if I just sit there and people watch me sort of click and delete files. But I don't know, maybe people find this interesting. I hope you do. It would have kind of helped me when I first started programming, just what a developer does. So this is real nice to see this in here. I'm actually going to turn the volume up in a moment, but I do like this music, so I want to leave it playing for a moment. But it's great to see this. This is actually running in my Chrome window here. And it's a lot more higher detail. It's bigger than an iPhone screen. It's bigger than an Android. Most Android screens, apart from notebooks, it's probably about the same size as a lot of notebooks. But it looks pretty good. It's not the most detailed game in the world in terms of artwork. It's not cutesy, and it's not meant to be that way. Apart from maybe the Ninja Birds themselves, they're kind of cute, I suppose. Oh, I missed it. Oh my god. Okay, back down to 0. But this is fairly easy to play with the mouse as well. Oh my god. And when I say easy, I mean the input is easy. The actual game is hard. That's the whole point. Okay, I'll turn off this music. So that's great to see. I mean, that's running up and that's perfect. We could deploy it to the web right now, onto Kongregate.com, which is this website here. I'll just pull this up while we're waiting. But what we want to do first is I want to just change these links here, because if somebody clicks on them, nothing's going to happen, as you can see. And all of these links go to all of the other X series games. Now they're available on iPhone and Android, but what I'm going to do is actually put a link to all of these on the iPhone, so that people, if they do click on these, they'll see the iTunes Store link, which then can open up their iTunes, and then they can download it. And these are all free, by the way, so please check them out. So first thing is these buttons here. What we're going to do, these all exist in this game icons object here. So I'm going to open the script by double-clicking, and as you can see, they already link. If you're in an Android or an iPhone version, it will link to them already. It will show them, like for example, if you click on AimX, it will link to it directly in the Amazon App Store. If you click on the iPhone version, it will link to it inside of the Apple App Store, and so on. So what we want to do is create one which basically links it to the the one which is available in the iPhone App Store on iTunes. So if I think it's Unity Web Player. You know what? I'm going to check this. Actually, this is something that I do pretty often. Is I need to check code to find out exactly where it's. You know, if the code is right, if the syntax is right. So if Unity Web Player, and it looks like this is right. It looks like a bunch of other people on the web have also used the same one, the same directive. And that's a common thing for development. You know, you don't remember all of the code in your head. You have to often look up the library and scripts and then find the best one to use. But over time, it gets a lot easier, a lot easier to remember. So I think iTunes.apple.com. I think this is already the link that I need. So I'm just going to copy that, Control C, and I'm just going to paste it in there, and it should bring up the web version of the App Store of the game, yeah, AMX, Fruit Ninja Training Game. Yeah, that's totally right. And then, oh, somebody gave me a 1 star. But actually, lots of people are giving me 5 stars on this one. I'm just blowing my own trumpet there. 3.5 stars. Okay, that's close to 4. That's an iPhone. People on Android really seem to like it more than iPhone with a lot of these X series games, which is really interesting for me. I don't know why. Maybe iPhone users are used to, you know, sort of the bar being a little bit higher for games, and so therefore they are a little bit more demanding. Who knows? But I did drink a lot of hot water out here, and it seems to hold off the cold because the weather here is so up and down. Summertime it's super hot, and wintertime it's super cold. So let's just turn off this music. And I think the one that we looked at was it AMX that I put in? Yeah, AMX, the Fruit Ninja Training Game, which is this icon here. So if I tap on that, there we go, it opens up AMX, great. I'm just going to go back to it and make sure it, just give it a little test because that little window is open. Okay, yeah, there we go, AMX, that opens, and that works well. That's great. So it's cross promotion. You know, it's friendly developer. Of course, you want to tell people that you have other games available, and you know, here's the link to come and check them out. At the moment, I've not put in any tracking to see how many people actually tap these, but you know, maybe eventually I will. I should really do that, but at the moment it's just a case of, you know, developing great games and then sort of keep doing updates and seeing which ones really stick with people. So all I'm going to do is just go down and this code that we had here for the web player version, I'm just going to copy and paste that in each of these in this function here. So if the user taps on the Ascend X icon, if we're in a web player version of Unity, which is on the websites or Facebook or Kongregate or the other ones, then we're going to open this link if the player taps on that. So this is real simple. This is just copy and pasting. And again, I'm a huge fan of code reuse, and in all of the X series games, there's a lot of code reuse in here. The structure of the Unity scene, the structure of the game, is all very similar, and that was really sort of a business decision as well. Is, you know, like I said before in the previous video, is you know, it's kind of for an early stage business or development developer, it's important to you know, sort of cash flow is important. You know, there's no way that we could spend months and months and months on a game, and then because that's too risky. That's too risky for a small studio, especially one that doesn't have any kind of marketing budget in place apart from, say, social marketing, things like YouTube, Facebook, and so on. So it's really important to do these things, and so code reuse and then building games fairly fast, you know, but not building terrible games, of course. You know, building games that are good, that people really enjoy, and you know, it's a good bit of fun for them. That's really the goal. Okay, so actually this one, I'm going to go back and check these because this alpha. Alpha Line Runner, which has actually been renamed to Temple Jump Run X, is not available on the market just yet. It got uploaded today, so what I need to do is actually change this to the new code that I can get from my iTunes Connect account through the website. But let me just go down and check these quickly. So I just want to make sure everything's running. So that's fine. Aim X, Accelerate X, Ascend X, yep. So icon, tap X, yep. Chick's Revenge. Okay, that says actually says Go Chick Go Free, but that's okay. It's because it doesn't matter. This code is the same. It's this ID code here that needs to be correct, not the actual name of it here. Alpha Jetpack X, yes. Global Blast, yeah. Geometry Line Runner, Alpha Line Runner, and that's not yet available. But that's okay. I'm actually going to put it up anyway, even if this link doesn't work immediately. It will work within 1 week once Apple approves the Temple Jump Run X game. So I'm going to get that code right now, and hopefully I'm not giving away anything here as I'm clicking around. I just want to make sure I'm not showing any passwords. I can always come and edit that later. Oh, but there it is already. Okay, so this is basically the iTunes Apple App Store portal for developers, and this is where you would upload your games, and you can edit the data like the description, the title, and so on. Add screenshots. The Apple ID is this code here, so I'm just going to copy that, and I'm going to go in and I'm going to change these digits here. Okay, and that should be fine. And then Ping Pong Pinball is not actually available yet either. That is in the approval process in the iTunes in Apple at the moment. So I'm going to go and get that code as well. I think I might need to log back in here. Yeah, that's fine. So I'm going to click on Manage My Applications. I'm going to find my Ping Pong Pinball, and I'm going to get this Apple ID here. That's the one. And what I'm going to do is replace this code. And what we want is the web player, so that it executes the web player code. It won't execute these top two ones because these relate to iPhone and Android. They will only execute if it's actually on an iPhone or Android device at that time. Alright, so let's go back. It's going to compile. The great thing is with the web player version as well is it actually deploys really fast. I love fast deployment. You can see it up and running real quick. So I'm clicking Command and B to build it. But I'd also, just while this is building, I'd also be interested to know how many of you out there are actually new developers, or how many out there are you independent developers or intermediate, or just people who have seen this video and interested to see it. Because right now I'm still sort of trying to establish the target of who is watching these videos, and then I can kind of cater the videos to the general audience that is watching. So let's try this first one. So this is Accelerate X. Yeah, that's right. And it's a shame it doesn't open up into a separate window, because I'm going to have to go back and keep on clicking. Alright, so Ascend X. Okay. That's working fine. So I'm going to check all of these. I'm going to cut the video there again, everyone. I'm going to come back for part 4 in a moment, so stay tuned and I'll be back in a moment.